Hey everybody, welcome to Batter Sports, the Texas Ranger edition, and as always, joined by Aiden, and I'll let Aiden give the summary of how the Texas Rangers are putting on a par 5, it feels like.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster the past couple weeks. When did we do our last recording? The 11th? During the start of the Diamondback series. Yeah, so I think I do not retract my statement that I made a couple weeks ago about us. If we make a playoff push, I would have no confidence in us being able to make a deep run into the playoffs because of our inconsistent offense. I did not retract that statement, and I don't think I've seen anything over these past couple weeks that's changed my mind. The win-loss record was not that great. 2-4 against the Diamondbacks and the Blue Jays, and then we played 7 games against the Royals and the Guardians. We lost 3 to the Royals, which is just horrible. And then we proceeded to sweep the Guardians. And then we immediately lost 0-4 to the Angels. But then we just beat them last night, and we're winning 12-2 today, so I think we can safely say that we take this one. So, again, we had some really good moments. We had some really bad moments. But one thing that I will say is that in the past 2 weeks, the Rangers have felt more like a normal baseball team rather than the 2025 Texas Rangers. 2025 Texas Rangers have been bottom 5 offense, top 5 defense, and top 5 pitching. Over the past couple weeks, they've been top 10 pitching and also, middle of the pack offense. And we've seen some really, really bright spots from both the offense and the pitching side of things. The Guardian series, we had 3 starters, Jack Leiter, Nathan Eovaldi, and I forget who the other one was, Merrill Kelly. All 3 of them combined pitched 21 innings and gave up 1 run in that Guardian series. So that is a starting pitcher ERA of 0.49 over those 3 games, which is unbelievable, and it's a testament to how insane the Rangers' pitching has been. However, we then lost 0-4 to the Angels the next day. So, again, we're just feeling very balanced, very normal, but again, it's August, 1 month left, and this last month, as we talked about, we play the Astros, the Brewers, the Mets, the Twins, Guardians. These are all pretty legit teams. September schedule is not going to be easy, and playing as a middle-of-the-pack team, which seems what we are right now, is not going to make the cut. And especially since we are currently 3rd in the AL, 6 games back of the Astros, with a .500 record of 67 and 67, with a win tonight pushing us up to 68 and 67, still being like 4.5 games out of the wild card. I just don't see us making a good enough push in September to make the wild card. And again, like I've said, even if we do, I don't have confidence we'd have a deep playoff run.
So I was looking at the American League, especially like what does the playoffs look like and what does that picture look like. The American League West is, I would say, vulnerable. Houston's not playing the best baseball. They lost to the Rockies last night. Seattle has up and down. The Rangers have been a consistent 500 team, and here's the thing that I just don't like about them after the All-Star break. So they were 8-1 on the great week, right? Yeah. That was a great week. Then they went 2-5 to kind of like hurt their great week. Then they went 2-4, 2-4. Both of those were put you under 500. Then you had a 4-3 week. And we talked about this. Currently on the batter 5, and as I look at weeks, we have 5 weeks left. And we looked at their schedule in September. It is not easy. Like the Yankees have an easy schedule. I would feel really great if the Rangers had the Yankee schedule, but they don't. The good news about the Rangers schedule is they can earn their place in. You have 6 games against the Astros. You play really well against the Astros, and you could beat them and really put a dent into what the Astros' dreams, because the Astros haven't run away with the division like Detroit.
Yeah.
They're not like the Brewers. They're not like, some of these other divisions where the team is just so far in front, it's hard to catch them. The Astros are catchable. The issue that I see right now is the strength of the Rangers is now getting injured. Yes. So you push back the start for deGrom, and I believe Eovaldi is done for the year.
Yeah, he's out.
So you 2 studs are taking a back seat at the worst possible time. And you've been a 500 team. So does that make the hitters wake up? Because they haven't. They haven't woken up all year. So They're one of the three teams on the outside looking in. You have the Royals, you have Cleveland, and you have the Rangers. All three of these teams are on the outside looking in. I think the Rangers have the best shot only because of their division.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Astros and the Mariners are right there. You're within 5 games, I believe, of both of them.
Yeah, we're 6 games back. Mariners are 1 game back, and Astros are at the lead right now.
And then tonight's matchups, I think, what do we got for the games? I believe the Astros lose to the Rockies 2 in a row. That'd be amazing. Yeah, you have the Astros play the Rockies tonight. They're winning. And then you had Seattle. They already did win. They beat the Padres. So it's a tough hill to climb, and so far the Rangers haven't given me that.
Yeah.
They had that one great week, and I thought they figured it out. Here they go, and then just 3 weeks where they just haven't played, not even 500 baseball. They just played 500 baseball after the 8-1. I mean, I just don't have an answer for you on this to say that the next 5 weeks I'm really hopeful. They play some good teams, but, this is a sink or swim moment here the next 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. Now, again, these past few weeks have been looking pretty grim. Eovaldi's out. I don't know if Mailey's even going to come back. And deGrom with a pushed-back start. They're trying to limit his innings. You're definitely starting to see the eliteness of the Rangers pitching staff starting to fall off a little bit. But, Patrick Corbin and Leiter are definitely starting to step up. Leiter's been incredibly good. Corbin yesterday pitched 8 innings, no runs, 8 strikeouts, had a really good outing. So I don't think the Rangers pitching is going to completely fall off with the loss of Eovaldi and the limitations of deGrom. And while it may seem like this offense is not trending in the right direction, the past week they have been incredible. Seager has hit several home runs. His OPS has gone up. Langford has gone from a league average hitter to being incredibly valuable. He's been aggressive on the base paths. He's been hitting the ball with power. He's been a leader for the team. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if after the end of the season, Bruce Bochy looks at this team and is like, we're going to build this team around Langford. He's the young guy. We have him for a really long time. And I think that he's going to be the centerpiece of this organization. And García has also been coming up clutch lately. We have lost Semien and Carter for the season, but guys like Young, Kyle García, Peterson, Tellez, the guy we signed before the All-Star break, I believe, from Seattle, they've all been doing very, very good things on this offense for the Rangers. And even some of these rookies have been coming in clutch as well. I mean, even, Ezekiel Duran, who's played in 60 games this season and is batting .225, he's been batting like .300 over the month of August. So while this offense, in context of the rest of the season, may seem like it's not doing that great, right now, over this past week, they have been really, really, really hot. And you can see it in their run differential. Right now, over the season, they're plus 63. Mariners are plus 25, and Astros are plus 14. So in the AL West, the Rangers have the highest run differential, which is a little wild to think about. But, it does also mean that we're losing a lot of those one-run games. So that is going to be a problem.
When I look at the addition by subtraction as well, so Semien hasn't had a good year.
Yeah.
And he's been trying and battling. His injury actually opens up the door for, just to move the page. Because you've had so many different guys struggle. It kind of gives people, a renewed hope. You got new blood. You got new people. Yeah. You got the excitement. So Seager has been very hot. He's the only guy over 20 home runs. I still think you have a chance to have, Seager could go for 30.
Definitely could, yeah. With the way he's hitting right now, totally.
But Langford also, he's got 19, and Garcia's got 18. So you could easily end up with 3 guys over 25 home runs.
Hitting home runs hasn't been a big issue with this team. It's been mostly just the average with runners in scoring position that has really dragged us down. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, Langford finishes the season with 25, García finishes with 25, Seager finishes with 30. But I think what's really going to end up mattering is if guys like Peterson, Rowdy Tellez, Kyle García, Jonah Heim can come in and execute in those big moments. Because we have a lot of one-run games with an offense that's inconsistent as we are and a pitching staff as good as we have. And so if your 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters can't get that single that's going to win the game with a runner on second in the bottom of the ninth, you're just not going to win. And especially in these upcoming games in which we're going to face some really good teams, with really good pitching staffs, Mets, Brewers, even Astros with Hunter Brown, that clutch hitting is going to be dialed up to 11. It's going to need to be dialed up to 11 if we're going to hope to make a push. And, yeah.
So the magic number of wins, what do you see the wins getting you in the playoffs? Because I look at it and I think 90 definitely gets you in the playoffs this year in the American League. That's 22 more wins for the Rangers to get to 90. Now, if they go 22 more wins, they had a heck of a closing for the season and they deserve to get in. I don't think 85 gets you in this year. I would be really surprised if 85 is enough. And if you look at it, if you have 68 wins after tonight, which it looks like you will, to get to 85, 17 more wins.
Yeah.
17 to 20 more wins here with the remaining games you have. That would be a heck of an ending to a season that you've never done that.
Yeah.
I don't have a single time, and I look at the whole season where you've had 20 wins over the course of 5. When I look at 5 weeks, I'm trying to look at that. Even the 8 and 1 week, you went 3-3, so that's 15. You had 17. You went 17 and 12 in the month of July. That's it.
Yeah.
But that you had an 8 and 1 streak. So do you have another 8 and 1 streak in the Rangers? Do they have it? And where you want that streak, just so you know, if I'm looking at this from your perspective, you want it when you face the Astros twice.
Yeah.
Because when I look at the schedule and, and September, and I say, okay, when do you want to get really hot? Well, you get the Diamondbacks, the Astros, the Brewers, Mets, Astros. I look at the Mets are super hot right now. The Brewers, I think, are hitting a speed bump because they've been so hot. Diamondbacks are they can get, if you lose to the Diamondbacks to start the month of September, I'm sorry, it's over because you face the Astros, the Brewers, the Mets, and Houston. If you get hot right off the bat and you finish 650, dare I say 700 in those games, that would be epic.
Just in striking distance, yeah.
Because you're leapfrogging Houston because you're beating them.
Yeah.
But you can't go 3-3 against Houston in those 6 games.
Yeah.
Because you're losing the traction. You're losing the games are going away. You only have so many games to make up. You need to make up 5 games. So every time you face Houston, it's got to be 5-1 would be excellent. That would be excellent. 4-2, I would accept 4-2, 2 games. That's a pretty big deal. 3-3, that's what's crazy about baseball. 4-2 versus 3-3 against Houston that's the season. And if you go 5-1 or 6-0, now Houston's nervous.
Yeah.
So, and they're nervous early because that's the 17th of September. You still have basically a week and a half of baseball left. You guys have 9 games left after that.
And they're all against significantly inferior teams, Marlins, Twins, and Guardians. So, if we can go off of a hot stretch into that.
Nothing for nothing. The Rangers shoot themselves in the foot against teams they should just destroy. I don't get it.
This is true.
Like when they started this series against the Angels, they're like, 4-0, we're not interested. Now they came out and beat them the next 2, but God, a sweep would have been nice. The Angels haven't been playing good.
Yeah. And
it's going to be an interesting little track. Do you see them making the playoffs? Forget about what they can do in the playoffs. Forget about your predictions with their injured pitchers. Do you think they're that team that can push and get ahead of either Seattle or Houston? Because you got to beat one of those teams.
Yeah, I see it happening.
Okay.
It's a bold take, but watching this offense over these past few games, as the announcers said, one game you feel like the worst team in MLB, and the next game you feel like you're on top of the world. We felt like we've been on top of the world 3 games against the Guardians and these past 2 games against the Angels. So, again, we're 4-1 in our last 5 games. If we're counting tonight as a win, we're up 12-2. So I think that's, obviously we're going to win this game.
Safe bet.
And then we go to play the A's. Their season is done. Their pitching is horrible. And our offense is hot. That's a great combination. And then we go to face the D-backs, which is probably going to be the biggest test, because that, if trends keep going, that's just going to end up being a slugfest. And the Rangers have not historically been good in slugfest this year because we have no slug. But then going into August, we got 28 games left this season. We would need to win, I think, 17 to 20 games to make it to the playoffs. So that's 17-11 or 20-8. That's the only way I see us making the playoffs. That would require us to basically have the best month that we have had since before the All-Star break of 2023. Because if you'll recall, 2024 we were bad. This year you said we've been bad. And second half of 2023 we were also pretty bad, and we gave up the division to Seattle. And it all came down to like that final series, but we made the wild card, and then we ended up winning the World Series. But still, our regular season gameplay during the final half of 2023 was not good. So we basically need to put up the best month that we've had in 2.5 years against some of the best teams in baseball. But I think we can do it. With the way this offense is swinging and the way that this pitching staff has been looking, I see it happening.
So here's what you have going for you, because I agree with my dad. Baseball's very streaky.
Yes.
The A's are currently, they beat Detroit 2 in a row, and they're ahead of them tonight. So if Detroit loses and gets swept by the A's, they're walking into the Rangers feeling as high as can be because they just swept Detroit. That's what you want. You want them coming in like that because we all know the A's aren't going to put 6 games in a row together. That's just not likely. So they're coming in fresh to get destroyed. And if you guys put that together, to your point, 4-1, do some more damage with the A's, you start to feel that momentum. The problem is it's the A's Diamondbacks. 6-0 would be excellent.
Yes.
But golly, do they shoot themselves sometimes. And this Diamondback series, which I will probably go to a game because why not?
Of course.
And when I went to Cleveland, visited the Diamondbacks, I went to the first game they lost to the Diamondbacks. And then they proceeded to lose like the next 4 or 5 games because that's what I did to a team. So I can either bless you with wins or bless you with losses. So I'm looking at the second as probably the day I would go to the game. And I'd be like, okay, so we'll see if Texas can beat us up. As my dad always says, the Reno Aces bullpen is all we got at this point because everybody on the bullpen did not start the season with the Diamondbacks. They're all minor league call-ups. So every time we get a win, I feel like we stole it from someone, just like we stole it against the Brewers tonight. And we closed them out. We beat them 3-2. So, and we're winning these close games, and I'm like, our relievers are really bad. So this will be interesting. The Rangers have, again, after tonight, you get the A's and the Diamondbacks. Then you get to the true test of time. So if you just start laying the wood on the A's and the Diamondbacks, bless you, we get 6. That's 6 of what, the 18 you want? You want 18 wins?
Yeah, 18-20, 17-20.
If you go 3-3 against the Diamondback and A's.
Yeah, it's over at that point. Like you just can't have that happen before you face the Astros and the Brewers.
But they're the team that does that to you. I feel like they're like, yeah, we're not in it, and then they bring you right back in and start playing good baseball. They've been that all the way. They're like, we don't want you to be our fan, and they're like, don't you love us again? Look how great we are, because they can be really great. They can play really great.
Yeah. Cause, like, if the Rangers do this thing again, where they like sweep the A's, and we win tonight against the Angels, and we're like 8-1 or 9-1 in our last 10. And then we go into September and we get like swept by the Diamondbacks and then, lose 2 of 3 to the Astros. We start off the month of September with 5 losses, but then we like sweep the Brewers and take 2 or 3 from the Mets. We'll go into the week starting on the September 15th being like, okay, guys, I know we're 500 in the month of August, but we've been really hot lately, and I think we have a chance to win against some of these inferior teams. I can see that happening. But again, when you can only afford a maximum of 11 losses in our final remaining games of the season, it's like a ticking time bomb. Have one bad week in these last 4 weeks, last 4.5 weeks. That's it. There's no room for error anymore. There's no room for we just had a bad week, but wait, we have a really good week coming up next. There's no more of that. It's too late in the season.
It's interesting because I feel like you've played with fire for so long at 500, so you're not really where you need to be. So now that door, I feel, closes much faster.
Yeah.
So your days of 2 and 4 are done. If you go 2 and 4 in a week, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. If you go 3 and 3, it's bad because, to your point, I think you need to stack like some 5 and 1s. But we talked about this. This is what they have to do. So as you're getting back into school, which is awesome, and the Rangers are deciding what they want to do, maybe with football season starting and everybody focused on how bad the Cowboys are going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the University of Texas, which everyone's excited about. Maybe the Rangers are like, hey, how come no one's paying attention? We want you to care about us too. Maybe this is the motivation. Maybe they don't want the attention. Maybe they're okay with football season.
Rangers have been spoiled. They're given 162 games this season, and they're taking them for granted. They're going to start seeing when you have 30 games left. They're going to see the value out of every game. They're going to really start working for it.
Well, I wish you the best. The more I look at it, the more it tends to believe that Kansas City, Cleveland, and Texas time has run out. It hasn't officially run out, but it feels like the door is closing quickly.
Yes.
I do think the Rangers have a shot, but they just can't have bad weeks.
Yeah.
To your point, to get 17 to 20 wins, ooh.
Possible, but not likely.
Yeah, that's a lot of let's talk about winning a girl back. That's what that looks like. We broke up, but I want her back. What do you got to do? Everything perfect. Can't do anything wrong.
There's no
she
room
can't
for error
even
anymore.
smell a bad smell on me, and I has to all be perfect. And I feel like the Rangers, their door's there. We'll see if they get through. Well, thanks for the Texas Ranger recap. As always, I'm your host, Brendan, with Badder Sports. That's Aiden. Share, like, subscribe, and we will be back with you next week. We'll see what's going on. We'll see how the flavor is. Maybe after the Diamondback, maybe Wednesday night again after the Diamondback series. We'll see how that looks. Or Thursday on the break. We'll see if I'm excited because the Diamondbacks ruined another playoff team's hopes and you're depressed. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you basically already did it in August. You took 2 of 3 from us, and we lost 2 close games against your Reno bullpen.
Yeah,
that was really fun to watch.
There are series in baseball that you look back on, you go, really? Because if we would have won that, it'd
be so much easier.
Such a long season. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You guys take care.